All right, here we go. Episode 83 uploaded and coming at you here on this Saturday as we get into an incredible weekend of action where you pretty much choose, right? Wherever you're comfortable with, wherever you think you know the most, wherever you think you have an edge or an advantage, that's where you should be playing this weekend. All right? Let's get into that. But wait. But first, let's get to the good news. Always start with the good news. And it's good vibes here, right? A lot of you folks were hanging out with us last couple of days. Things are going well. All right. Play of the day scores again. Nice. Another $20 winner as our horse, we got some racing luck. Run for the Hills. We told you about race number 8 on the card from Churchill Downs on the turf course. Jose Ortiz would be closing. We didn't think he'd be far back like he was, but he closed and he ran second. And then, of course, the horse we were afraid of, the number 7, Bling, was a runaway winner, and we couldn't catch him. Aha! But he committed a foul, an infraction, and apparently the stewards do actually work in this sport. So they disqualified our man Johnny V, put us up, and we get the win. Thing about that is you can't get put up from 17th, right? You can't get put up from last and be the winner. Your horse has to run well, and then you get some racing luck. We got that. We really liked the 6 in race 9. We played a small double to back things up. So hey, all right, we go into the weekend with a little bit of action, a little bit of momentum, confidence, and we hope that you're ready to roll through with us. So awesome. 2 days of $20 winners. Let's see if we can make that into something a whole lot bigger. All right. So we told you about how there's really great action from coast to coast, and so you have to make a choice, right? We choose Southern California. An individual came and commented and said Southern California is horrible, racing's horrible, and I'm like, okay, then don't play it. I'm going to play this. You play whatever you want. Thanks. So the reason why I'm going to play it is because I like the sequence. There are runners in there that I like. Stakes races on Saturday, the Malaire. The Thor's Echo is not involved in this particular sequence. Then the Crystal Water, the Franz Valentine, and the Snow Chief are all involved in our late pick 5 sequence. There's like an optional claimer they threw in there to mix things up, but I'm like, it's all good. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get started. I want to take you through all 5 legs, and if you want to play it, great. If you don't, I'm okay with that, and I totally understand. But this is what I'm doing. Here we go. All right. First leg. It's race number 6. All right. That's the Franz Valentine. 1 mile on the turf course. There are only 7 horses in the race, but I really feel like the inside sneaker has the pace advantage, and if they're not leading, they will be on the front end when they turn for home. But then there's some other speed in the race, like there always would be going a mile on the turf. Rail is out at 20 feet, so that gives speed a tiny advantage there over the turf course. There's some other speed, not lightning speed, but enough to keep it pushing, as I like to say. And then you get to the outside. Outside is a horse with a crazy closing kick. That is Quantum Energy with Michael Earl Smith in the irons. So I feel like I've got it covered. There could be a presser that might stalk in between and get to our speed horse and then beat our closing horse to the punch, so to speak. But I'm going to keep it simple. I just like 1 and 7 in that race. 1 and 7 in the first leg of this pick 5 on Saturday at Santa Anita. We move on over to the second leg of this wager, right? This is the Malaire, 1.16 on the dirt. This is going to be tricky because you don't have a lot of runners in here with route experience. And so there are a couple in here we're going to try and beat. But we're going to start by doing it with speed. The 6, Fibonacci's Ride, is nothing but speed and now stretches out for 2 turns for the first time, able to score first time out, going 5 furlongs at Los Al, then came back to Santa Anita, running an optional claimer going 5.5 furlongs, ran second that day in a field of 7. I don't think there's any speed to go with her. And the 5 in here, Sunset Grazin, does have some route experience, has won a race at 1.16 and has won a race at 1.70. Now, they did that with speed, but I feel like she'll be in a nice stalking position here. And we're going to go with just 2 horses. The horse I'm trying to beat is to the outside, the 7, Me So Fancy. I play against everything that Umberto Rispoli rides anyway in Southern California, and I've been beaten a couple of times, but most of the time I beat him. So I'm going to play against him in this race as well, and we'll see what happens. So there you see 2 by 2 to get things started in the first 2 legs of the pick 5. Now, we move into the area where we have singles. Race number 8 is the Crystal Water 1 mile on the turf. There is absolutely zero speed in this race. Kings River Knight, the 4 and your 4 to 5 favorite. Second off the layoff, Juan Hernandez, John Sadler. I'm just going to keep it simple. If they don't win, anybody can win. Next thing you know, I'm pushing the all button. Who's got time or money for that? Keep it simple, the 4. And these next 2 reasons is why we're going to play for such a high dollar amount, right? So there you have the single of the 4 in that third leg. That's race number 8, the Crystal Water. Then you go to the optional claimer. It's a 6 furlong event, $20,000 optional claimer. This is the only horse I'm worried about, and it's because of what I talk about a lot as far as vibing with connections, all right? So it's 6 furlong on the main track, and there's some speed in the race. There's everything in the race, and I really, really, really like the 7, Lady Gregory. But let me just tell you, the connections here, Lady Gregory, Hector Barrios, who I've always liked, and trainer Jeff Mullins. In my first 10 or 12 years in the game, I was always trying to beat Jeff Mullins because he always had the favorite, and I thought that he was cheating. I thought he was juicing. Never proved that he wasn't. He's just a good trainer. But I was always trying to beat him. Well, in the last, let's say, 5 to 7 years, I've been using him a lot, and he has not been coming through the way that I would like. So we're not quite vibing, but I feel like his horse is just too good, and she's going to be in the right spot, and she can sit right there and take over in the stretch, so I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to say, okay, racing gods, Jeff Mullins, do something right for once in your life. Or at least do something right for me. Okay, then we get to the most important, the final leg of the Pick 5. Mile and an eighth on the turf. The Snow Chief is the big feature, right? And the final race on the card Saturday. There's some options in here, right? And there's a little bit of speed. There's some class. I really, really love the 4. Prince of Del Mar. My money rider is there. Giovanni Franco. Second off the layoff. Had tons of trouble last time out. Going a mile over the turf course. Needed that race. Had not run since December. And then came back and ran just here, April the 4th. So just over about a month and a half ago. Needed that race. I think my guy's going to put this runner in the perfect spot. Has a great closing kick. And there is some speed in here. And the horse that I think is probably going to get the jump on our horse is the horse that beat this field last time out. Got Soul is the 7 in here. And the Got Soul is in great form. Back-to-back victories, able to break the maiden over the turf at Santa Anita in February, then came back to win optional claiming, going a mile over the turf back on April 4th. Got Soul is going to be in the perfect spot. There's a little bit of pace. It's just all that we need going a mile and an eighth on the turf course. So those are the only 2 horses we need to use in that last leg. So if you've been following along, it's 2 by 2. Single, single, by 2. And this is what it looks like. Late pick 5. 2 by 2 is 4. Single, single by 2 is 8. Now we're going to take that, and we said we're going to play a larger denomination. $5 play. 8 times 5 is 40. It's 40. And that's how we're going to attack it. If we're right, we've just taken what is kind of a chalky card and turned it into something that could be really, really nice. If we're wrong, it only cost us $40, right? And if you're right, then maximize being right. So if we're right here, we're going to also follow that. Got a win wager on our guy, Prince of Del Mar, who's going to be value. In the Snow Chief, we got our money guy, Giovanni Franco. He's giving us the thumbs up. We feel good about it, right? So that's what we're doing. We make a play. We decide, okay, how do I feel about this? And how can I maximize? Look, there are a lot of players that use a lot of horses, and I understand it completely. And it works every once in a while. I've seen quite a few players put out $100, $150 tickets, and they've scored. Okay. That never worked for me. Ever. So I always keep it simple and keep it small. That's what we're going to do for Saturday. It's a great extended holiday weekend of action. So you have all these options. I'm going to kind of dig in here on this Saturday. And if it works, we're golden for I don't know how long, right? So that's how we play. You want to play along with us? Appreciate it. If you got some suggestions, things you like that are better, please go ahead and let us know. right? And we'll continue this journey together as I'm helping you and you're helping me. Speaking of you helping me, appreciate you guys who pointed out my mistake. Even though Run for the Hills was the winner, I don't know why I was thinking Judas Priest. It's Iron Maiden. Eddie Maiden's gonna haunt me in my dreams. Iron Maiden is the he did Run for the Hills. Sorry about that, guys. Judas Priest, Rob Halpern. Sorry, you do not get this one. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode, number 83 of Horse Race Bets. In the meantime, in between time, and until next time, we will see you right here. Have a great weekend. I'm going to be out of town. I'll see you guys Tuesday. We'll get together. We'll count all the monies. All right? Until then, good luck and enjoy whatever you're into.